So it's like the perfect combination of Chicago, interest-based content, real estate content, humor, trend jack, green screen, authenticity. Like this is the move right here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the walkthrough, the most underrated, valuable marketing show in real estate history. I am Eric Simon, aka the Broke Agent, and I am joined here by Jason Cassidy, aka the CGO. Jason, how you doing today?
I'm doing really great. How are you? It's March Madness, so I don't even know why we're filming this. I'm literally watching like 7 games at once out of the right of this. But other than that,
we're filming this because we have a very special guest. A sought after guest, someone that we have been trying to get on the show maybe for 6 months now because of her amazing variety of content. She is a Chicagoland realtor. Her name is Katie Kenny. Katie, how you doing today?
I'm good. Happy to be here. I'm not watching March Madness.
Good. Oh. That's good.
That's probably a good idea.
You're probably a lot more mentally healthy than Jason and I are right now. We each have TCU grinding on it, up 10-5. Well, at least I do.
Go Horned Frogs.
Go Horned Frogs. Anyway, today we are going to break down what goes in your Instagram bio, how to pull off a signature series on Instagram, 3 easy listing videos you could replicate, hitting price points from different angles, and what Gen Z gets about content that other generations may not. Because Katie, you are Gen Z, correct?
Yes, I'm an early Gen Z.
Okay, perfect.
2000 baby.
Okay, so you are one of.
Oh my
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Not a boomer like you guys.
Yeah, we're not boomers. Jason might be on the edge.
First of all, I'm a millennial. I'm an elder millennial, but I'm a millennial.
Yes, as am I, 36 years old. Anyway, let's get into the content here. So I want to first pull up your Instagram profile, Katie, because I think what you have in your bio is actually fantastic and is something that we have been speaking on for the last couple of weeks on this show. You have a line in there that says the Gen Z voice of real estate. So I'm curious because I love that angle because it kind of speaks to what your content's going to be about. Has that helped you in business? Has it hurt you because maybe there's older clients that may not want to work with a younger agent? I'm curious that angle because I really like it, but I just want to hear what it's done for your business.
It's kind of funny because like the older clients don't even have Instagram half the time, so they don't even know this of me. So I think it does help because then when a client follows me or a potential client follows me, they know what I'm about. They know that they're going to see a lot of content from me, whether it's real estate related or just like more lifestyle or things to do. So I think it helps attract people that want to see my face and want to see stuff. And it gives people a little bit of an idea of like, okay, I'm actually going to see stuff, and people don't necessarily always want to follow a realtor. So then when they know that you're going to be a little bit more different than a normal realtor, I think it gives them something to follow and know what they're going to see.
And you also have it in your bio where it says all things Chicago suburbs. So I think anyone here, like Jason, we've been talking about that one line in your bio that kind of describes the content that is going to be on your Instagram page. Even if you just say all things Tucson, all things Los Angeles, that's at least encompassing enough to where you know that you're going to get a variety of content.
Yeah, it's not all things real estate. It's all things, right? So it's like someone could tune in that's not just real estate stuff. You're going to get hyper local content, restaurants, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So Katie, one of my favorite things about your Instagram profile is you have a signature series that you do. And I think you post it, I don't know exactly which day, we could go into the strategy, but it's just what to do this weekend in Chicago. So let's play this and then let's break it down why it works so well.
Things to do this weekend in the Chicagoland area for 30-somethings or anyone really, March 13th through the 15th, aka St. Patty's Day weekend, which is a big weekend in Chicago. Could dye the River Green. Thank You for Dancing is hosting the biggest St. Patty's Day party in the city at 4 different venues with DJs, mechanical bulls, 6 stages, and more. This party spans 16 hours and they have ticket options from $63 to $160 depending on the time slot that you want to go. So if you're in the city and planning ahead, which I highly recommend for St. Patty's Day, this is a really fun option. If you comment or DM me, I'll send you a link to buy a ticket to this. Other St. Patty's Day options in the city, if you're near the river and you want to see the river being green, there's river cruises, a little bit pricier. It's kind of fun, a little bit risky because you don't know what the weather's going to be like. You don't want to be in the chaos of the city and are in the suburbs for Saturday. Restaurants like Hey Nani, Peggy Canane's that are Irish, they have like Irish dancers, live music for St. Patty's Day. Anyways, I'm Katie. You can follow me for things to do in the Chicagoland area. And happy St. Patty's Day. Bye.
So multiple things there that I see. First, the trend jack, you're wearing green. St. Patty's Day. You don't just do this when it's like a holiday weekend. Do you do this every weekend?
Oh yeah, I
every
post
week?
it every Wednesday. I film it on like Sunday or Monday. I come up with the list on Friday or Saturday, and then I film it, and then I post it on Wednesday because it has enough time to circulate. And I see that a lot of people send it or save it. And usually by like Thursday or Friday, it does decent. That one, the company like reached out to me and was like, hey, will you promote this event? And I've noticed that has started to happen because people will see it and then reach out to me about a specific event and be like, hey, will you like put this in your video? So I don't always try to do that, but for that specific one, the Thank You for Dancing company had reached out to me and was like, can you promote this event? But usually it's like way more. I'll do like 5. I try to do 5 events, some in like 1 or 2 in the city and then more in the suburbs because I live in the suburbs. But I know that a lot of my followers who are Gen Z live in the city. So I try to like cater to that.
Where do you get the list?
So I do Facebook events, ChatGPT, but ChatGPT kind of like doesn't do the best for events because it's not super specific. And then Google Gemini has a pretty good list. If you look up things to do in X area, March 20th through the 22nd, it comes up with the list and then it has the location, it has the photo. So it basically does it for me. And then now that I have like the whole editing thing down, it's like basically you just like plug and play. You put the video, I film it in teleprompter. So it's not like I'm memorizing anything. And then it's edited in CapCut. So it's pretty easy. Maybe like an hour total for filming.
Yeah. And I just love like you have the events popping up. It's a super kind of natural video that doesn't require that much editing and it's completely repeatable. So you do this every single week. And then I love that endpoint that you made where you said, I think you said, like, I'm Katie Kenny, follow me for more events like this. Or what was your signature thing that you put at the end of it?
Yeah, I always do like, I'm Katie, follow me for things to do in the Chicagoland area, bye. Because I do my bye at the end of every video and home tour. So that's kind of like my little thing. And then I started saying, I'm like kind of testing it out to see if I should say like, I'm Katie and I'm a realtor in the Chicagoland area, or if I shouldn't say that in this video. So I'm kind of like testing the waters to see how it performs when I say the real estate side in that video, because it's not a real estate video. So I don't really know how that will do and if it will do anything. I've had relocation clients reach out to me from these videos and be like, hey, I saw this video. Like, I see you're a realtor, would love to connect. So like that type of client has reached out. And then I've also just gotten a lot of engagement on my profile from local people too, because I've been posting this every week. I think I'm on like week 8 or 9 of doing it. And I've really seen a lot of engagement and I want the local engagement. I don't really care about like people from other states, except location clients. So
keep it up. That's gonna
be working. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to pay off real big.
Any agent could replicate this, by the way, because everybody wants to know what's happening in their community, what's happening with events. My wife the other day was looking in our Playa Vista Facebook group, and that's where she gets a lot of information that's happening in our community. Imagine being the person to actually deliver that content to people. So Katie becomes worth a follow in Chicago just for that series every week. And I love that you post it on a Wednesday too, because if you post this on a Friday, people have already kind of made their plans. So that's like timeliness in nature as well. And then not introducing yourself at the beginning of the video, putting it at the end. It will be interesting to see if you say that you're a real estate agent, if that results in less follows, less interaction. But we've had Bern McGovern.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We've played his examples, but he always says, I'm Bern McGovern. I'm a San Diego real estate agent. And then maybe he drops his experience or how much he sold.
So you don't have to, or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like you could also do this as like, if you don't want to like talk to the camera, I think talking to the camera is easier than like doing a carousel. You could do this as a carousel, or you could do this as like just a reel with like flashing pictures and a voiceover. I've thought of a bunch of different ways, but for me, like talking to the camera is easiest to like edit and just do the teleprompter. But I feel like there's so many different ways that you could do it and make it super easy and repeatable. Cause for me, the weekly series, I knew I wanted to do one, but I needed it to be something that I could do actually like achieve every week. And it couldn't be like too complicated.
Do you have any other weekly series that you're going to do, or do you have any other repeatable content?
In terms of a weekly series, I did want to do more of like how I posted and like the things I don't judge my clients for, like have more like real estate things. I want to do ones that are like, oh, things that I would do if I was selling my house this year, but I feel like it gets boring when people hear about real estate all the time. So I've kind of like held back from doing that, but just like talking to the camera for me has gotten really easy. So I'm like, I should be doing more. I only post 3 times a week right now, and then there's multiple stories a day. But I also noticed that I get a lot more engagement from stories. Like I feel like my followers who are either like past clients or like future clients, they like just seeing me talk to the camera in my stories, like telling them what I'm doing, or if even I'm like educating something, if I'll be talking about like an appraisal. People don't know about some things, so sometimes they think it's interesting, just like in the stories. It doesn't always have to be a feed post. Some of it could, but I don't know.
And then I noticed a lot of your call to actions and your captions are saying DM me. So instead of using a ManyChat, maybe you do use ManyChat,
No,
but instead of, oh, you don't. Okay. So I was going to ask that. So do you get DMs from these? Because I feel like that's more of a route that people have to take as opposed to just commenting a word, but it makes it a little bit more personal because it's like, okay, if I really want this information, I'm clicking on her profile and sending her a message. So do you actually get DMs from that? Does that strategy work?
You know, what's actually interesting is I don't get as many DMs. I get more text to my cell phone. So I do text or DM, and that's why I've been playing with like the call to action. So I get more text to my cell when I do text, like O'Neill is the name of the one proper, like text O'Neill to my phone number, versus DMs. People don't DM me as much because they think it's going to be a ManyChat. So I get more direct texts. And I'll get showings requests and stuff through that versus a ManyChat or a DM. So I think the text call to action works better just for my stuff. But I know that ManyChat works for some people. I just don't like it because I don't know what's going on with ManyChat half the time. So that's why I stopped doing it. I was doing it, but I can't keep up with it.
Yeah. I like that, Jason, because I always look at our ManyChat analytics. Open rates and send rates have plummeted completely because I think everybody is so desensitized to the ManyChats.
100%. I absolutely agree. Unless you're doing some sort of email sign up where you need to like, you can't hand-to-hand combat because you're getting 300 comments and you need to send some sort of a sign up list. If you're just doing it to elicit like a quick response, I would almost just do the hand-to-hand combat. You know what I mean? At best, you're getting like 50-ish comments, right? And usually you're getting 10, depending on who's watching this. You can reply. You know what I mean? If you're you and you need 600 signups to an email list because of a webinar, I get it. But the random agent can probably still just hand-to-hand combat that and do an actual personalized reply.
Yeah. And as AI becomes more and more engraved in everything that we do, the more personal replies will probably start to stand out a lot more. And I just love, Katie, how you're saying you're playing with these different conclusions to these videos, the different calls to actions, whether you use realtor, whether you just say your name, whether you talk about your experience, like that's part of this game is kind of deciding when do I put my name? Is it at the front? Is it the beginning? If I say comment the word this, does it get more engagement? Does it get more signups? Like you're constantly testing stuff and you can really see that on your page because it's not the same thing every time. You have such great variety. So I want to break down also one of your hyper local videos of you getting out of the car.
Apparently they have NYC bagels in Algonquin, Illinois, so we're going to try them today. So let's go. I kept driving past Corey's Bagels on Randall Road, so I felt like it was finally time to stop and try them. And they've been open for a little over a year now, and holy cow, they did not disappoint. I haven't had a New York style bagel since I was literally in New York City, and this was just as good. The workers were so nice and sweet, and they helped me pick out what to order. So I was in the mood for breakfast. They told me to get a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel on an everything bagel, and you could taste how fresh this bagel was.
Okay, I didn't feel like eating in public today.
Corey's Bagels has this location on Randall as well as 2 other Chicago locations, so you can try them whether you're in the city or the suburbs. Let me know your bagel order or what I should try next time I go also. This is a perfect breakfast or lunch stop, and I got nervous to eat in public alone today, so I hope you enjoyed my mini mukbang in the car. Make sure to try out Corey's Bagels in Algonquin. Bye!
Let me Let me just say something. I would rather watch 10 of these than the hyper produced ones where you go in and interview the owner of Corey's Bagels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just raw. You're getting out of the car, you're going in, you're getting back in the car, and it's literally just turning the phone on. I feel like those are just going to do so much better.
You couldn't pay me money to interview an owner of a place on camera. I literally would never.
That'd be horrifying. I would also never do that. Jason, you could pull that off.
Okay. You know what I mean, though? It's like the super polished, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to put their food on like a pedestal that spins and showcase it. It's like, that's fine. That was like 2010 to 2018. But I feel like now it's raw. Hey, I just got out of my car. I'm over on Randall Road. Check out this bagel spot. Like, so good. So much better way to do like the hyper local restaurant stuff.
Definitely. So I'm showing all these to show Katie's variety. So far we have an amazing bio with the Gen Z voice. We have a what to do this weekend, interest-based content, hyper-local, interest-based content, but you're not just all community interest-based. You have a ton of real estate content and also a variety of listing videos. So I'm going to break down your 3 listing videos and how you approach them because it's all about calling out the price. So this first one is a voiceover listing POV.
What can $40,000 down get you for new construction in Lake Zurich, Illinois? Well, let's see. This house is listed at $629,000. So if you put $40K down, that is a 5% down payment. Taxes here are new construction currently. So in about 2 years, when they're reassessed at full value, you can expect them to be around $15,000 a year. I got that number based on other new construction homes in the area that were built within the last 2 years. And the monthly payment on this one, once the taxes are at full value, is around $5,000 a month with your 5% down payment. This is a 2-story home in the Forest Lake subdivision in Lake Zurich. So you're right off of Quentin and Old McHenry Road. I love the main floor on this house because it has a nice open kitchen, living room area, wine rack with space for a dining room table. There's also a mudroom with these cute little built-in cubbies for the kids' backpacks or jackets during the winter. This house has 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths with an option for an office upstairs. Check out this master too. It has a balcony, vaulted ceilings, big walk-in closet, huge bathroom with a double vanity and standing shower, and the builder did an awesome job with the finishes. This house is in District 95, so it's Lake Zurich schools and super close to the Forest Lake beach and boating, which is super fun when it's obviously not 10 degrees out. There's also a full basement with the builder offering to finish it for an additional $49,000. Anyways, text me the word forest for more info on this home or other new construction in the Chicagoland area. Bye.
Okay, so first it says, what did the text hook say on there? What you could get for $429,000?
Yeah.
So that in itself is great to start off the video.
Is that the average sale price in your area?
Depending on the town, I would say, yeah, it's average like first time buyer.
Yeah,
price.
that's what you're looking for. Is like the one. So here in San Diego, this average sale price is about $980. So those videos that are like, here's what you can get for $750 and under, or $800, and a little bit below the average sale price, it's gonna apply to the masses, which is better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know people are always like fighting in the comments about like certain things, whether it's like, oh, if you do the down payment or if you don't say the price. So that's why I always say it, and it gets more views because I think it's a good visual hook.
Yeah, provides context to exactly what they're about to see. So your script for these, are you just kind of winging it when you're recording the audio afterwards? Because you intertwine so many inside jokes about the area, the Chicago drinking water, the high school parties, and you have kind of like it's more like a conversational voiceover than your typical listing video. So is it like, what's the process to film these?
I do when it's the walking ones, I try to make the voiceovers a little bit more like personal and funny. So I write them out before, and then I film it or record it. But I always write it because I cannot wing it. I would not be good at doing that.
So you write it out before you do the filming?
Oh no, I film it when I'm there. Because I just filmed that one with my phone.
Right.
So that one was not like professional. Obviously, it was not professionally filmed. But then I just write out the voiceover, just like in my notes app, and then I film it or record it in CapCut or edit or whatever platform.
Yeah,
and that makes it really fast. It's like 30 minutes probably editing, filming, editing, posting.
Yeah. It's those little inside jokes. We've featured the Greater Reston Living team, and anytime they're talking about a community post or a new restaurant or something, they always try to provide some sort of inside joke about their market that only people in Chicago or only people in Tucson would actually understand. And that gives it that like extra flavor to it where I want to follow this person because they have personality and they're mentioning bars in my area or, house parties. And that joke about like the teenage son living in the basement, I thought was pretty funny.
Monthly high house parties or something like that. That was right on point. And there's another Randall Road. That must be like the popular like street or something like that.
There's an influencer in that area who does these videos where he's like, "Where are you at on Randall?" And he gets like thousands and thousands of likes on all his stuff on TikTok and Instagram. So like whenever you say Randall, people will tag him. So I do it on purpose because then people will tag him in the comments on TikTok so that it gets more engagement.
Have you ever thought about collabing with him?
Yeah, him and I are planning it on one of my listings because he's like, people and my followers want to see a mansion in Barrington. So they're like, so we're planning it on one of my listings because I was like, oh, then that'll help get views.
That's so smart. We've hinted at this in the past, but like collabing with other local influencers doesn't have to even be real estate, right? Sometimes a local foodie influencer or something like that. I mean, it's the same way that brands reach out, right? That company reached out to you about their party on the Chicago River and so like people just think about it from an agent perspective though. You can collab with other local influencers and be like, hey, I've got this new listing. You do want to come film at it? And then you could do your own content there, but then you get the collab out of it. Smart.
Exactly. Because it's also just like the connections too and the relationships. Because he's a car, I think he sells cars. Like he works at Cadillac or something. So that's why he started growing his following on. And then it grew to, so like all the high schoolers know him and stuff too. So it's kind of fun that everyone has their own little niche. But yeah, so it's cool.
Are you posting all these to TikTok also or YouTube Shorts?
TikTok, I see a lot more engagement on the more like self-filmed ones that are very like authentic. And then Instagram, I see a lot more engagement on the like high editing, more production value ones. So it's interesting.
Have you found that your clientele skews younger, or like what's your average buyer seller age wise?
I'd say 30s, 40s, a lot of like move up, like maybe they live in a condo and they're buying their first house, some first time buyers, some downsizers, but I'd say like average is 30s and they're having their first kid or second kid maybe. And that's why in my things to do video, I say in your 30s, even though I'm not necessarily 30 yet, that's like who I'm aiming towards. Cause the average first time buyer is not like, they're like 38 or something. So
you're not necessarily 30.
I'm not, I'm only 25. So
got it. Okay. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I'm like targeting towards those people because that's who I know is like going to be the people watching it. But yeah, I would say the average client is probably like mid 30s, 40s.
Awesome. So what do you think it is that Gen Z gets about content that maybe millennials or the older demo doesn't? Because I see a lot of casualness, authenticity, of course. I know that's kind of a buzzword, but it feels more conversational with it. Is that kind of the Gen Z angle, or like what's the differentiating factor there?
Yeah, I feel like, are you saying like creating content or consuming?
Kind of both. Just like what I feel like when I see Gen Z content, it feels like a different style, right, Jason?
Yeah,
like
it's way more raw. Like not to say that they don't do oh my God, not to say that those people don't do highly produced as well, but it just feels more raw and authentic. Like you're talking to your friend, right? It's just like, hey, come with me, check this out. You know what I mean? You were doing the voiceover and you're like, walk down here. Like, I'm sorry, or you're welcome. You know, you're just being like really like you were talking to your friend on that walkthrough. And so I feel like Gen Z content has a lot of that in it.
I feel like that's how we feel with our phones because we've literally grown up with a phone attached to our hand at all times. So you almost, no matter what you're doing, you feel like you're just FaceTiming your friend, whether you're talking to like thousands of people or whether you are just FaceTiming your friend. So talking to the voiceover or talking to the camera feels very authentic. So it's like, it doesn't take as much getting used to be very normal on camera, and it is very casual. It's not, you're not like describing like an MLS description in the voiceover. Like it's like you're just having a conversation with a friend. And it's the same way I think I try to carry how I am like on social media to like how I am with clients. I am pretty casual and like I'm trying to be the same person at all times. And same thing with like my stories too. I feel like I'm active in my stories, or I try to be at least. So it's like, it's just normal to like want to post a lot. And that's why I think TikTok is pretty like normal with Gen Z too, because TikTok is like even more authentic than Instagram. People post like the most random, like unedited stuff on there. And so that's very normalized, and we're super comfortable doing that because you can just like pick up your phone and post like a selfie of your face and just put a little caption on it on TikTok, and you'll get like thousands of views and likes on it. So I feel like for Gen Z, it's just very normal to just have your phone, like using it to communicate with people at all times. Cause some of us you're not necessarily like in a group chat with your friends, you're talking to TikTok and that's your friends. So
Yeah.
I guess I hope that answered it.
No, it does. It absolutely does. Do you get more leads on TikTok or Instagram?
I'd say last year was more TikTok. This year I'm starting to see more from Instagram. Your people watching this will hate this, but I still get most of my clients from like door knocking, cold calling, and open houses. So like
people will not hate this. People will actually love it.
100%. That's
in
like,
fact, we get
the meat and
pushback
potatoes
against
of
this.
business.
So like I'm starting now to see more clients from social media, but like I built my business for the first 2.5, 3 years on like the old school way of like doing door knocking and cold calling. So like now that I'm starting to get more clients from social media, it's cool because it's like another pillar, and it's like adding so much substance to my business that I'm like getting to the point where I'm like so busy that I'm like, whoa, I need like help.
I have to, so I'm interjecting because I have to go. And I just want to make sure that you know that it's not because you called me a boomer. It's not because you said old school tactics like door knocking. And it's not because you made fun of my generation. So continue
It's
on.
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's quite all right. I'll just tell you guys a great job.
All right. If you are an agent looking to stand out from the crowd, like Katie with her amazing content, Reminder is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. Use the link below to check out Reminder Media. All right, so let's break down your second listing video style. This is kind of a more POV, and I think you start with what this gets you with this specific price.
It's not new construction, and you could literally move in right now. Here's what $435,000 can get you in Huntley, Illinois. I'm cold. Midwest core is being cold every second of every day here, but the best way to stay warm is to go house shopping with me, and here is a really good $19.99 house for you to buy. $429,000. Besides the fact that it's 25 degrees here in Chicago, that's really the only downside of this lifestyle, and I know that Huntley is not Chicago. I'm using it generally. Also, Illinois has arguably the best drinking water in the entire country, and I will take that to a debate. Back to the house. Over 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms upstairs with a huge master suite. The owners made a designated craft room, which is the cutest thing ever. And for all the commenters who fight about taxes on my post, they're $8,800 a year. There's even a designated floor for your teenage son with a kitchen area, which probably isn't the best idea to put his bedroom down in the basement unless you want to become the host of Huntley High School parties, so I'll stop the scenario for now. Also, you have to mention Randall Road because that's where everyone is at these days. This house is about 7 minutes from Randall Road. You're welcome. Anyways, text or DM me the word Huntley for more info on this home. Bye.
So the beginning of that, you mentioned so many numbers. I think it was 40,000 down. I think you mentioned the monthly payment. Did you mention the price of the listing also at the beginning?
Yes.
Or was that just okay?
I think so. And I also mentioned taxes too. So I said a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great because you're just completely contextualizing how much it costs for someone to purchase this property. But you also are still hitting the same style of the voiceover, the clever jokes in between, kind of the quick hitting, kind of fast forward. I think that was probably at 1.5 or 2x speed, and just going around. So it's like you're hitting a more numerical, data driven audience on top of the younger audience with these. So I just wanted to show this like versatility that you have even within the voiceovers. Like that one was more data heavy and kind of less funny than the other one, but you also still have the personality come through it. And do you know that one agent that insults the houses, that like insult comment?
Yeah.
Comic? Yeah. So she's hilarious, but you do it in a tasteful way too, where you're not offending necessarily like your sellers, because you're still providing a personality, a little bit of jokes, but it's not to the level of saying, oh, this house is a piece of shit. Here's why your mom shouldn't live here. You know, like that like extreme level. So I think you just like hit the perfect note with these.
I'm such a people pleaser. If I insulted the house, my anxiety would be like higher than it is already. So I don't think I'd ever insult the house. I could maybe insult like the area or something,
right.
but I don't think I could insult
Yes.
or
So I love the versatility of listing videos there. Let's get into the fun things I don't judge. So this is another video that you made in your car that you said that you want to potentially turn into a signature series.
Things that I don't judge my clients for as a realtor. Number one, if they need more time to save for their down payment or they are not ready to buy when they thought they would be, like if you need a couple extra months or half a year, that's okay too. Number two, if they're getting a down payment as a gift from their parents or their grandparents, like go off. Number three, if their house is messy or they have things out when I'm there for the listing appointment, if they are not on the timeline that they thought they would be on for buying their first house, or like if they're still living with their parents and then they're buying their first house, I'm not here to judge anybody else's timeline. Number four, if someone's house is not as updated as they want it to be, like if it has original flooring or original finishes when they're selling it and they didn't have it in the budget to do those updates when like they thought they would. Last one is like on anyone's like financials or credit. Like I'm never here to judge anybody. I feel like buying a home is a big enough accomplishment in itself, and I think that that's the big thing to celebrate. I'm Katie. I'm a realtor in the Chicago suburbs. So bye.
So there you go. You just said you're a realtor there because that's more about
Yeah.
real estate, I guess. So that makes sense. But you provide comfort to the audience because you know that if you're working with Gen Z or millennial clients, they probably have a different timeline. They probably are getting a gift from their parents, and that can be an embarrassing thing for people. So yeah, go ahead and talk about like why this video is effective.
I feel like it'd be a good series to do of just like lists are just so easy because I didn't even use anything that was like, I didn't use like teleprompter in that. I was just kind of going, I was like, oh, this would be a good video to film. And I just filmed it. But I was thinking about all the things that like people tell us as realtors. And then sometimes they're embarrassed, whether it's like, oh, they have to do a lower down payment. Cause sometimes people are embarrassed if they're doing like 5% down and not 20. So you think about like different things that like people tell you, and it's always really good content, but it's just like, how do you make this into content? And I think a lot of us as like, when you're just trying to post and like get into the algorithm, like we overthink what you're actually posting. It's like, just pull up your phone and start filming what you just talked about with the client. It's not that complicated. So I feel like there's so many things that you can film and you don't have to actually specifically call out any clients. You can talk about a lot of things and you could make specific videos on like certain points in that. I feel like there's a bunch of different ways you could go about it.
Definitely. And I'm sure those are anxieties that your clients have told you about or that you've just picked up upon where they're probably a little embarrassed, being like, oh yeah, my parents are going to help with this down payment. And you can kind of feel that tension maybe. So then you turn that into content because it's something that you're dealing with a lot. So we always talk about that here on the walkthrough. If there's a question that you're getting constantly from your clients, or if there's some worry that they're having, those are your hooks for your videos, or those are your listicle style content that you could just knock out right there because you're kind of solving that anxiety for them already.
Exactly. And if people like didn't have it in like their budget to like update their house or something like that, and then they always like apologize, like, oh, it's not as updated as we thought it would, like things like that, where it's like you can bring that into like making content about it. So I just thought it was like an easy thing to film. Anything where you're just talking in the car to your phone, I feel like is so easy, and it actually gets really good engagement. Like it's like getting out of the car, that video, like when I don't know what it is about a car, but it's just like all my best ideas come there, and it's like the best videos happen there too.
It's the ultimate safety zone. No one can hear you. No one's watching you.
Exactly.
You could turn the car around for better lighting. You could film from multiple different angles. You could have your dog in the back seat as a visual hook. I'm actually about to post a video that I just did of me in the car yesterday. And my two best videos this year are me filming in the car. So I've talked about this a million times in the show. Yes. So this is the move, everybody. If you want to break through the algorithm, all you got to do is film in your car.
Content.
Exactly. Okay. So things that should be tariffed. This is one of my favorite videos that you did that kind of plays along the same lines of that listicle style.
Unless you live under a rock, you've heard the word tariff floating around the past couple months, and I'm not a political person, but here's my take on things that should be tariffed when it comes to real estate. First one is when you're standing directly outside of a house and there is a Ring camera and you are talking about how much you hate the house and how ugly it is. The sellers can hear you. Next thing that I think should be tariffed is when you write a love letter to a seller when you're buying a house. Not that it doesn't work, and not that I haven't had people do it. I just think it's a little cringy. Next one is if you're selling your house and you paint it millennial gray purposefully, I think you should be tariffed on that. Next tariff goes to every house in the Chicagoland area having multiple offers on it. Next tariff goes to when a house is on the market and the only time you're allowed to see it is during the open house. So like It's on the market, but the only available times are Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 3. No other time. The next one is when you're going and seeing a house and they tell you intentionally, like, take your shoes off, but they don't offer booties either. So you are forced to take your shoes off, even if the house is like a little icky. And the final one has absolutely nothing to do with real estate, but I believe it should be tariffed, is the weather in Chicago. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Bye.
So what's so great about this is it was a trend jack in itself because this was during Judgment Day or whatever the tariff day was when Trump announced it. So that was, perfectly timely. The retention on this video is probably amazing because you're just kind of going one by one by one, and you were getting smaller and smaller on the screen, so people can't even see the text behind you. So it's like a slow reveal. And then at the end, you still have a hyper local post about Chicago. So it's like the perfect combination of Chicago, interest based content, real estate content, humor, trend jack, green screen, authenticity. Like this is the move right here for people who are, if you're trying to come up with some idea, screenshot your notes section, have a title like you had right there, and just go through it. So what made you think of this video?
There's that one girl who is just like an influencer, and she posts these like notes app things that's like things men should not be allowed to do. And I don't know her name. I can't think of her name, but I always think they're so funny, and I watch the whole video every time. So I was like, this was like last year, I think. And I was like, oh, I should do things that should be tariffed, because everyone's always talking about like the way like some people talk about politics on their page. I do not. That's a safe space on my page. I do not do that. But I was like, oh, I could make this funny and things I would tariff. So I just thought it would be a good way to like trend jack, but also like make it a little bit local and like play with it a little bit. So
Yeah.
that would be good. I should do more of the notes app thing though, because that's
those are really good. I just love how purposeful you are with all of your content. Like even though it can feel like kind of spur of the moment videos, there was clearly thought that went into that because you had the hook behind you, it had the title, and then just having that like Chicago piece at the end was just like such a boost of, okay, I'm in Chicago now. This video actually makes sense to me. So really, really good stuff here. Great versatility on your page. What's next for your content journey? Any other ideas or listing videos or projects that you're working on for Instagram or TikTok?
I feel like my listing videos are kind of boring right now, like the production ones with my videographer. So I'm trying to think of some ways to like make them a little more interesting, make them get more like reach and higher watch time, because when the seller is hiring you to have good social media reach on their listing. So that's something that I'm trying to brainstorm right now. But I want to add probably another, because I'm posting right now 3 times a week on my feed. I probably should add like a carousel, because I just do mainly reels, but for me that's the easiest thing. So I should probably add like some sort of carousel once a week or something like that.
Yeah.
But
what are the 3 posts per week? So you have the weekend post. Is it a listing video and then a hyper local? Is it those 3?
Yeah. And then if I have like 2 listings that go live that week, maybe I'll replace the hyper local with like another listing video, or I'll maybe do 4 and it'll be a hyper local, 2 listing videos. But I just know people don't necessarily want to see all these homes all the time. So like I like to do the new businesses. So sometimes businesses will reach out to me and be like, hey, want to come in? But sometimes I'll go to a new business and it's not necessarily like that great, so I won't post it.
Right.
So I'm trying to come up with like different stuff, because I feel like people get bored of like the same old thing. And the algorithm is so hard to keep up with too. So I don't know. Do you have any ideas?
I was just going to say carousels, because I noticed your entire page, or just more photo images, just to kind of give more, because you have such a good variety of type of content, or a variety of like the actual context of it, but the variety of packaging, especially if you have a business like that bagel place that did really well, you could always turn that into a carousel, because that obviously hit with a lot of people. The reel itself was amazing because it was visual. You're showing yourself actually eating the bagel and showing inside the business. But if something worked as a reel, turn that into a carousel. If something works as a carousel, turn that into a reel. And then do you have a newsletter associated with all this? Because I feel like that that 3 posts per week thing is like perfect for a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter.
Yeah, so my newsletter, I put it out every Friday. It's bi-weekly, the newsletter, and then every other week I do a deal of the week. So in my link tree in my profile, people can sign up for it. So I get a couple signups every week from that too. But yeah, all of this goes into the weekly newsletter. And it's
Mm-hmm.
super easy then to make the newsletter because I'm already kind of creating all the
Good, the
content,
content.
things to do this week. So I should probably be doing a call to action actually in the things to do this week to the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that Instagram doesn't like when you send people to your bio from
Yeah, no one really clicks on the bio. It's a good place to kind of passively get emails, and it's just a good place to like display your work and reviews and everything else that you do. But I think if you're active on Instagram stories, letting people know, flipping the camera around and saying, "Hey, I'm about to send out my newsletter. I send it biweekly. You get events, real estate updates, local businesses, discounts to restaurants. DM me the word Katie and I'll send you the link." Like if you do that in stories maybe once a week, you'll probably at least rack up 5 or 10 new subscribers, which is good.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
actually a
you
good idea.
start dripping on them a little bit. What about Facebook? Are you posting all this to Facebook?
Yeah, I put it to I have a business Facebook page, so it all goes
Yeah.
there too. But I don't get as much engagement on Facebook. I don't know why, because I'm probably not doing the algorithm right on there. Um, but I post it all there. So some of it does get pretty good engagement there, but some of it just sits there.
Yeah, Facebook's hard to crack. The boomer audience, though, is on Facebook. So as you start to age up with the demo of your clientele, which will just naturally happen the longer you're in the business, you do want a significant presence on Facebook just because that's where they're looking. They're looking in Facebook groups. They're scrolling Facebook like it's Instagram. My mom sends me stuff from Facebook.
Same.
Like that's there, or she'll look on Instagram on her iPad occasionally, but or on the computer is how she scrolls. And Facebook, for whatever reason, is kind of easier to scroll on the computer because maybe that's just how we all naturally did it back in the day. Maybe that's before you even started. But
No, and I'm posting everything to my business page. So what I've
yeah,
started doing is I'll also post it to my personal. And I know that like on my personal pages where I'm like friends with everybody. So I
yeah,
sometimes will post stuff also on my personal page just separately. Or I'll post like a carousel type of thing on Facebook that I could also post on Instagram too. So now that I think about that. But I'll put it on Facebook, or I know a lot of realtors will post in the Facebook groups about things like events and stuff. So that's something that I haven't necessarily like gotten into yet, but I think it's also like a great way to like connect with local people is
hmm,
stuff in the Facebook groups. I put all my open houses as Facebook events and I send it to all the Facebook groups there too. And that always gets me at least like one or two guests at all the open house because people will see it on Facebook. Um,
you could create your own Facebook group. It could be like the Katie Kenny private community group or something that you put all of your old clients into. So like at the end of each closing, you should invite them to a Facebook group or even while they're your clients. So you at least have people that are they're all kind of congregating around you. But the stuff that is posted in there is just events. And then if you ever throw a client event or something, that's the easiest way to invite them. And then that could kind of become your Facebook group that is a hyper local Chicago suburbs group. It's a pain in the ass to do, but it does work.
this is a coaching call. That's a good
Well,
idea.
we've had Shannon Gillette on multiple times, and she was huge with Facebook groups back in the day, and people swear by it. Like you're doing a good job already, just posting in Facebook groups, but even creating your own as like a private exclusive makes your clients feel like they're a part of like your community, basically.
100%.
So if someone says like, "Hey, I need a good idea for a pizza place for my kids" or something like that, even if it's not you responding, someone else in the community responds. How do they know each other? It's through you. It's like an event in itself.
Oh, I agree. It's like better than just commenting in a random group that a different realtor
Mhm.
made because that's
Yes.
who makes all the other local groups. So I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
My wife's in a Playa Vista Facebook group here, and she said that the real estate agents bought banner space on it. So like the banner of the Facebook group is owned by the real estate agents, but that there's just constant gossip and community talk just in our little community here. So getting in as many of those as possible, creating your own. There's too much to do. I don't know.
Mhm.
There's nonstop stuff you could do on social, but that's kind of like the hand to hand combat that people don't see that can net you sometimes more sellers, more buyers than just outwardly posting. And if you've been door knocking, cold calling, like this is kind of the door knocking and cold calling of social media, is going in and leaving comments and leaving your 2 cents and talking about events.
That's what I do, because I do spend a lot of time in the Facebook groups because I love the drama also. So I'll always like comment if it's like, what's a review for like a pizza place or something like that. I'll always comment because you get the like points and stuff in those local groups. So I'm always like cognizant of that too. So I will, because you're not necessarily just recommending yourself as a realtor when somebody asks for a realtor. It's like, it's actually asking me like, oh, who's a construction company that I should use?
Yeah.
And always responding to people. So if I'm on Facebook, I'm always like active, especially in like the local ones, not necessarily the ones that are further away.
Definitely. And if someone has gossip about a new restaurant, or they say some place is terrible and it has a bunch of comments, you could use those comments kind of as like a hook to a video. And you already know that there's interest in that business or restaurant that you're talking about because all these people felt some polarization towards that place. So it's kind of like using some other Facebook page or group as opposed to your own comments to then garner more content.
That's actually,
look at us. We're brainstorming right here.
That's a really good idea, because I'm thinking of a couple of specific ones that have a bunch of people saying stuff about them.
Yeah. Like if people are getting mad about something about your community, that's usually something you want to create content around. Like if they're seeing new construction and they're pissed off about traffic or pissed off about a new building going up that's blocking a view, that's the perfect thing to say. Like, hey, a lot of people are super angry about this. Here's what's actually going in here.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Well, it's been awesome to watch you, grow your page. Lindsay Joe put us onto you a couple of years ago, I want to say, and I've just watched your content get better and better. And it's amazing to see the versatility, the variety of your packaging, the listing videos. And I just love seeing that it's working on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You're doing the door knocking, the open houses, everything. So you're crushing it. Keep on this path. Don't do what I do.
I won't.
Keep doing what you do.
I'm not going to start a podcast, I don't think.
Yes. No, don't. We don't need any more of these. So where can the people follow you?
You guys can follow me at the Katie Kenny on Instagram or TikTok. I am there. So
perfect.
And I'm in the Chicagoland area if you guys have any referrals. So
if you have any referrals, let Katie Kenny know. Give her a follow. Give her a follow, not only to support the content, but get so many ideas from her content, and excited to see some new signature series and some more car rants from you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. All right. We'll see you guys next week on The Walkthrough.